My name is Alara, and I am 34 years old, living in the quaint town of Everwood, where every autumn brings a golden blanket of leaves that dances in the wind. My life has always been predictable, filled with routine and simple pleasures. I work as a librarian in our local library, a home away from home, surrounded by the smell of old pages and endless stories. It is a cozy little place where I enjoy helping the kids and adults of our community find their next favorite book. My friends often tell me I am kind, nurturing, and a bit of a dreamer. These traits have served me well in my quiet life, but little did I know that everything was about to change. One fateful day, a storm swept through Everwood, and with it came a new threat in the form of a man named Derek. At first glance, he seemed harmless, a suave newcomer who charmed everyone with his smooth talk. He landed a job at a nearby coffee shop and quickly became the darling of the town. Yet beneath that charming exterior lurked a ruthless ambition. I had the misfortune of clashing with him when I discovered that Derek planned to turn the library into a trendy cafe and event space, prioritizing profit over the history and culture that the library represented. His proposal was clear. He wanted a complete overhaul, turning a place where communities gathered and cherished memories into another commercialized venue. This cut deep into my heart. I felt a responsibility for the library and the stories it held captive within its walls, and I knew I had to do something. But standing up to Derek proved more difficult than I anticipated. At first, I approached him directly, hoping reason would prevail, explaining how crucial the library was to our community, emphasizing that it was a space where imagination took wing. But my words fell on deaf ears. Derek smirked, dismissing me with a wave of his hand, telling me I was living in the past. Feeling defeated but not ready to give up, I gathered a petition signed by residents who supported preserving the library. However, to my horror, Derek countered my efforts swiftly, flaunting his connections with local businessmen and a few key individuals in town. They backed him financially and promised a renovation that could garnish immense profit. As I watched my efforts crumble, I grew increasingly frustrated and powerless. Derek started to spread rumors about me, painting me as the villain in this battle for the library. I became the subject of whispers and sideways glances. People no longer regarded me with warmth. Instead, they looked upon me as an obstacle to progress. This took a toll on my spirit. At my lowest, I spent countless nights tossing and turning, only to wake up disheartened, realizing that I had almost lost everything: my job, my community's trust, and the love I had for the library. I felt like I was drowning in despair, watching as the ground I fought so hard to protect began to erode beneath my feet. Yet somehow that anguish ignited a fire within me, a flicker of hope that refused to be snuffed out. I knew I had to concoct a daring plan, something that would expose Derek's true intentions and reclaim control over the library. I devised a scheme that included bringing the community together in a way that would highlight the value of preserving our beloved library. After weeks of hard work, I organized Everwood Reads, a massive book fair featuring local authors, storytelling sessions for children, and a showcase of the library's history. I gathered volunteers, and together we decorated the entire library, transforming it into a vibrant space filled with laughter and creativity. When the day arrived, it was an overwhelming success. I remember standing in the heart of the library, surrounded by friends, supporters, and countless visitors who loved the place as much as I did. Derek attended, more curious than malicious, hovering like a dark cloud over our celebration. All it took was a few moments during my speech to reveal the truth. I highlighted the rich history of the library, the stories that had built generations of our community, and how it had always been a cornerstone of Everwood. As I spoke, I saw a shift in the crowd. People began to voice their support openly, drowning out Derek's attempts to undermine me. The climax of our showdown came the moment I unveiled a surprise: a book of signatures from those who opposed Derek's plans, an alliance forged not through fear but through the love and passion we all shared for our library. The crowd erupted in applause. A wave of realization washed over Derek. His charm had faltered in the face of something much more powerful than business: community. Embarrassed and furious, he stumbled out, leaving behind his dreams of transforming the library for profit. In the aftermath, not only did we save the library, but I also discovered a newfound strength within myself. I stepped into a leadership role in our community that I never knew I was capable of, organizing more events to foster unity and showcasing what makes Everwood truly special. Now our library stands untouched, a beacon of hope and imagination, filled with the sounds of laughter and learning. I learned that even in the face of adversity, when pushed to the brink, we can rise taller than we ever thought possible. I looked at the fluctuating leaves outside, branches waving and dancing freely in the wind, a reflection of resilience, a reminder that while I may have faced my monster, I emerged victorious and with a new sense of purpose. Everwood is no longer just a town; it feels like home again, brimming with tales waiting to be told, ready to face whatever the future may hold.